You're welcome back. It is time for the phone interaction, where today we'll be talking about, should government support professional bodies? Now, a boiling dispute between the Rivers State government and the Nigerian Bar Association over 300 million has escalated, with the state threatening legal actions. The conflict stems from the NBA's decision to relocate its 2025 annual general conference from Port Harcourt to Enugu, despite earlier agreements and financial commitments. The Rivers State government insists that the funds were part of a hosting arrangement, not a donation, and is demanding a refund, while the NBA reportedly claims the money was a gift with no binding conditions. As tensions rise, this clash raises questions about financial accountability, contractual obligations, and transparency in public-private engagement. So the question is, should the government support professional bodies with money? Or should these professional bodies be allowed to work independently without support or money needed from the government to run whatever program it is they intend to run? Now, the Rivers State governor in Similaya Fubara, provided the money for them to support this hosting for the AGC in Port Harcourt. So, however, with the declaration of the state of emergency, the NBA has decided to relocate this event to Enugu, citing concerns over constitutional breaches and the undermining of democratic institutions as the reason for the move, because of what was playing out there in Port Harcourt. And the administrator has said that money was given to assist you because this event was happening in Port Harcourt. But the NBA is saying, no, it's a gift. So at this point in time, what do you have to say about government supporting professional bodies? It's not the first time we've seen this happen. Now, we've had several people weigh in on this matter. We've had experts spoken about it. Some are criticizing the NBA for accepting the funds in the first place, emphasizing that the association is already funded by members' dues and conference fees, and it should maintain independence from governmental influence. And some people are requesting that the money should be returned, which these are also lawyers request that the money should be returned. And others are also kicking against it, saying that the association seems like it's being politically manipulated. Hence, people are now questioning the judiciary. There's a certain level of political manipulation in it, because why would you take the money? So a lot of questions, a lot of things have been raised, but the broader implication is for public interest. Can financial support to these professional bodies hinder the way they deliver their service that are meant to serve the public and the public interest? Hosting large conferences can stimulate local economies, through tourism and other related activities. But in an era where you find, there's disinflation going on, monies are not being disbursed for things to be done properly, schools needs to be fixed, hospitals needs to be fixed, should the government be gifting this huge sum of money to professional bodies to host an event when there are other things in the state or even in the country at large that could handle and use this money as a form of resource for something better that would really, really impact the lives of people? The phone lines are open. The question and the numbers will be displayed on your screen shortly. Do well to call in and share your opinion with us. The numbers are there. Call in or send us a message via WhatsApp, and we're definitely going to take it through the course of the show. Now, another thing that has raised, concern is the aspect of autonomy and independence. Accepting funds from the government, there's a school of thought that say it may compromise the perceived independence of these professional bodies, especially those tasked with holding government accountable, and those that are tasked with, like the NBA, that are tasked with this is the hope of the common man, or the hope of people who go there to fight for cases even against the government. Taking money for the government, does this put them or compromise their integrity in the eyes of the people? And also for financial accountability, there might also be concerns about transparency and justification of using public funds to organize events for organizations and professional bodies. What does this say about the utilization of public funds? Now, the dispute is something that has raised questions. Should the government provide financial support to professional bodies? What are the potential benefits and drawbacks of such fundings? The phone lines are open, Let's hear your thoughts on the show this morning. We also have our WhatsApp open. We'll be taking your messages as well. So do also send in your messages via WhatsApp and we'll be here to take them. Now, does the government funding compromise the independence of professional bodies in Nigeria? We've had instances where, the government have given monies to professional bodies for them to handle certain things. We found the government Project Nollywood initiative, which ran from 2006 to 2015, where the government launched Project Nollywood, providing 100 million to Nigerian filmmakers to produce high-quality film to boost the entertainment industry, which is going to in turn, create and generate revenue for the government. Now, the initiative was aimed to boost the industry in producing quality content. Subsequently, including a 30 billion intervention fund in 2010 and a 3 billion grant in 2013, further supporting the creative industry. Now, this is the creative industry, but there's also the MBA, the professional body, the lawyers and the legal practitioners who are meant to uphold and hold the government accountable in certain cases. We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Lilian. You are speaking with Shetima Yakujima, calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri is fine. Maiduguri is good. Alhamdulillah.
Go ahead.
The topic is, should government assist or help the professional body? The answer to me is there is no point. Why? Because this money is belong to each and everyone. You're supposed to do something reasonable. Giving MBA this money, they themselves they know it's not a gift, it's not a free gift, but there is motive behind it. There is reason for giving them that money. Because it's just like a thieving to close their mouth in certain things that is happening in the state. That is the reality. Government will not give you money free. There is motive behind it. Lilian, let's be sincere to ourselves. NBA, they are body that are supposed to be open eye and observing wrong things, so that for them to chip in and correct things. But by giving them free money, they will not have the ability to talk or to criticize or to point out the lapses of the government. So this money, I think they have to refund it. They have to pay it back because it's not a free money. The way that they give them the money, there is motive behind it. So the truth of the matter is, the professional money should be used. Should create a gap for not accepting that kind of money, for them to be independent, for them to be free, for them to have a say in a right direction of this country. If we continue accepting this one, we don't have anything to say about the wrongdoing in the country. And you see, I believe, I'm not from the river, but I believe, even now there is some patients there who have not been settled in the rivers. Then why are you taking this money? And I believe there is some areas in the river that they lacking roads. There is hospitals in the river that they lacking tools of work or machines. Why can't you use that money to address that problem? And you are taking the money to give to the body. For what? There is reason of giving that money, to be sincere. And I am telling the professional bodies to understand that whenever somebody is giving you free money, you don't have a say over him. Whatever he do wrong, you just be free, because you cannot have a strong mind to criticize or to say something about it. So we should desist from doing these things. Our hope is to that money is for properly to use this all the reason that they have been allocated to you. That's my case. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shatima, there for sharing your thoughts this morning. He has, shed a touch on the happenings in Rivers and still criticizing, saying that this shouldn't happen as it would, create a certain level of distrust in the institution in terms of how the public would see them. We also saw some time where a certain minister built houses for judges as gifts. That did raise a lot of question about, where does this leave? How are we now going to trust the system if we have politicians intervening? Let's take the next call we have. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Hello, I can
Good
hear
morning.
you. Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello? Hello? Good
Yes,
morning.
good morning. I can hear you. Tell us your name and where you are calling from. Alright, it seems he's struggling with his network there. We might have to let you go. So do out to call us. There are both numbers on your screen, 2 numbers actually. So call either of them or send us a WhatsApp message. Either ways, we're here to hear your thoughts, and this segment is all about your opinion, as your opinion at this point matters and your voice matters to us today. So this segment is about you, so do out to call in and share your thoughts. The question still remains the 300 million naira gifts given to the NBA by the River State government. Should government give such funds to professional bodies? What impression does this make? What impression does this have, on the professional bodies, their functionality and their ability to be independent? Do you think or believe that government funding of professional bodies is a prudent way of spending and using public resources? These are taxpayers' money. Giving them to, a professional body to host an event or to organize an event, is this a prudent spending of public funds? Is this a prudent spending of taxpayers' money? Is that the right way for taxpayers' money to be spent? Funding these professional bodies. Of what benefit would, that event have to the average Nigerian on the street who requires adequate health care or a roof over their classroom in school, or even if it's a pencil or a writing material? Of what benefit would that event have? Most especially speaking of an agency that has the responsibility of also holding the government accountable. So what does this say about that funding? Should the government go ahead to give such funding to professional bodies, or let them source their own monies themselves in order to create a certain level of independence? And also in the case of the NBA and the River State, who do you think holds the moral high ground and why? Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello? My name is Lord Ginga from Busima in Kaduna State.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, you see, to be candid, government should not be giving support to professional body, because if you look at it, for example, the NBA is given that huge amount of money, 300 million naira from the government of River State. This money belongs to the people. The money is supposed to be utilized in maybe education, health, and other sectors. Because by giving them the money, it means they will compromise on whatever the government wants them to do. After all, they have their own internal revenue generation. Why can't they use their own money to sponsor whatever they want to do in their meetings, rather than accepting that of government? So to me, actually, government should not be supporting professional bodies. Instead, let the government allow them, since they have their own internal revenue, to hold their own meetings, rather than supporting them or giving them money, which simply means they can easily be compromised. That's my take.
Thank you very much, Yao, for that. He has said that the government should not intervene, rather let these professional bodies find a way to generate revenue, which is exactly the point where, some people who commented on this. They said they have dues, monthly dues of members and payment for the event that is enough to cover the event. Why taking a gift of 300 million naira from the government at this point in time? What does this mean to the integrity of the association? And at this point, hello, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Abasekong calling from Gombe State.
Good morning, Abasekong. How is Gombe this morning?
Gombe is fine. Really, really good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Sincerely speaking, Shetima has spoken my mind, and that was what I had in mind to say. It all goes down on corruption. Corruption. These people know what they are doing. They just want to silence, to key up the mouth of those that ought to speak out for the masses, for the less privileged. So they want to padlock their mouth so that these professional bodies that can rise up and say no to this, no to that. So they are locking up their mouth with padlock so that they cannot be able to speak out. That is one. Two, we must kick against these abnormalities that the government is always doing. I stayed in Port Harcourt for 5 years. I stayed in a place called Omoko. Why can't that money be injected to those areas? Why can't the money be injected to hospitals? I normally visit hospitals here in Gombe. I know how people are passing through trauma, pains. A lot of people cannot pay their bills. Why can't the government become reasonable? Imagine, why are we deceiving ourselves? How long are we going to live on this earth that will continue to siphon money and put money where it's not necessary? May God continue to put us straight on the line, because we need to put our straight on the line before God will do that.
Indeed.
Thank you, Lilian. God bless you. This is a very wonderful topic. I hope people will continue to key in and resist these abnormalities. Thank you, Trust TV. Thank you, Nigeria. God bless us.
God bless us. Thank you so much, Abasekong, for that contribution there. He has said that which is a point, even Shetima raised earlier as well. Why is this money not invested in, handling the basic need of the people, even in River State? I have been to Port Harcourt. I know how Port Harcourt is. I know how the roads can be in some places, in some localities, in some communities, in some streets and areas. So, do you know how far 300 million would have gone in building, just probably refurbishing some certain primary schools across the state, or 2 primary healthcare centers across the state, or provide medications, something. But it was being gifted to a professional body. For what reason exactly? And this begs the question, at this point, should there be stricter regulation governing the disbursement and use of government funds by professional association? This money is public funds. This money are taxpayers' monies. Should there be any rules or guidelines as to how, if governors decide they want to give this money, or the government decide they want to give this money to this agency, what is the rule of engagement? There are some that you say, okay, this money is being gifted to boost this particular, professional body, because the benefits they have to the people, and how important they are to the people. Like we found one of the creative industry. You're boosting the creative industry to help producers produce quality movie, and when this in turn will bring back revenue to the federal government. That I can see the future of. But for the NBA, where do they stand on this, and what does this say about the NBA, and the level of integrity it has, and what this means for how Nigerians will be seeing it? So we'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Call in. The numbers are displayed on your screen. We're asking, should government support professional bodies financially, or they should be left to use their internal finances and support themselves? What does it mean for a professional body like the NBA receiving such money from the government? What does this mean in regards to their independence and their integrity in the eyes of the people? The phone lines are open. We're here to get your thoughts. Do well to also send in WhatsApp messages. Let's take the next call we have this morning. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Oh, it seems we've lost the call. Do well to call back, and we'll be here to hear your thoughts. Also, do not forget you could send in WhatsApp messages. Please do well to send them as soon as possible, so nobody would feel left out in case we don't take your messages due to time. But do well to send in your messages right on time so we could take them, and also call in. The numbers are displayed on your screen. Call in and let's hear your thoughts. The question still remains: should government support professional bodies by giving them funds? Now, the dispute between the Rivers State government and the NBA talks more about the delicate balance between governmental support and the independence of professional bodies. Let's not lie, funding can offer benefits, but it also poses a risk of accountability and credibility of these bodies, especially in the eyes of the people. So at this point, what needs to be done? Do we need a re-evaluation? We have a caller we have Abubakar from Kaduna. Good morning, Abubakar. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, William. Already somebody from Nigeria, I believe, has spoken seriously about this matter. But what I like to add a little about this is that huge amount of money that was given to this body of lawyers, how many graduates that are on the streets can you bring out and give them something to do with that kind of money so that you can reduce the unemployment rate in this country, especially in Rivers State? We have problems in this country. You see, this body of lawyers, I think they are one of the richest people in this country, one of the richest bodies in this country. Why do they have to collect that kind of money now that they have moved their annual meeting to Enugu? I think the honorable thing to do is to return that money before anybody say anything. Because like me now, I didn't even know that kind of money was given to them. Because I expect whenever they're going to have that kind of annual meeting, they already have the money to do whatever they want to do. I'm not saying government should not help them in one way or the other. Maybe the government can come in and give them lunch for a day or two. That would be okay. But that huge amount of money would have helped in bringing out a lot of our youth that are running the streets, out of poverty. I think this is what I have to say, because somebody from Maiduguri as a recognition has already spoken almost everything that I had in mind.
Indeed.
May God bless Nigeria and Trust TV as well.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. God bless Nigeria. God bless Trust TV. Indeed, there are so many areas at which the money could have been invested, but there's also the government's reason for gifting that money. And throwing a bit light on that, I think I would see that differently. Being that if this conference were to be held in Port Harcourt, it's going to bring a certain influx of people who would in turn, lodge in hotels, make purchases, tax returns would be sent back to the government. So it might have just been, a foresight on the part of the government. We have the next caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Musa. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Musa Hassan calling from Adamawa State.
Yes, good morning, Musa Hassan. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Good morning. Yes, I would like to align myself with what the previous speakers have said. I think this is a wasteful waste of money. These professional bodies have their yearly subscription from various members. They have other sources of income. I think for government to even have aligned themselves with such kind of donations is not the right way to go. Likewise, some of these wasteful spending, like government giving out money to political parties on yearly basis and other things, all these kind of investment are wasteful, waste of resources. Like the previous caller have rightly said, there are teeming youths that this 300 million could have made impact on their life. When you empowered 300,000 people, or let me say just 1,000 people with this money, they can start up businesses. And more so that this donation is coming to the NBA, I think is raised an eyebrow, and there is need for us to talk our mind out so that those kind of things should not happen going forward. Thank you.
Indeed, thank you very much, Mr. Hassan. He has said that the money could have been invested in empowerment and so many other sectors that would, favor the people. And giving the money to the NBA in particular might have just raised an eyebrow. In the same 2024, Governor Similayo Fubara also gave a 300 million grant, to 389 medical doctors in River State Civil Service undergoing residency training. The funding covered residency training grant requirement for 2023 and 2024, aiming to enhance the capacity of healthcare personnel and improve healthcare in the state. That was 300,000 there being invested in healthcare, and there was no much talk about it. It happened. But why is the NBA raising brows? Let's take the next one. The next caller we have Umar. Good morning, Umar. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Can you hear us?
Hello. Good morning, my sister. How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Yes, my name is Abdullahi Umar calling from Katsina State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Umar Abdullahi from Kaduna State. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I'm watching this show program. You see, I can say two things. First of all, giving the NBA any type of assistance, whatever it is, even if it is giving the NBA only the venue to conduct its activities, meetings, seminar, workshop, or whatever, I think it's an open corruption. And it's not supposed to be done. It surprises me. This type of things are only being practiced maybe in Nigeria. Go to other countries. You can't go to any country and assist an organization like an NBA. Obviously, if you assist the NBA in whatever situation, you are making them to compromise what they are supposed to do. That is it. But it's not bad if the government can assist an organization like with regards to health, research, science, technology, empowerment, whatever it is. But to assist an organization like an NBA or any of the security agencies is just like compromising what they're supposed to do.
All right, thank you very much, Abdullah Umar. He said that such assistance compromises their integrity and what they are meant to do. We had our phone-in segment yesterday talking about giving money to security agencies. We saw sharing money to police officers by a Chinese national, and it raised a lot of questions about, should that be given, even though, the Police Act clearly says that doing that signifies corruption and it shouldn't be done. Now this is done to the NBA, another body that is meant to uphold justice, and the government is giving them money. How is this being perceived? It was done for the medical doctors. The same governor gave the same 300 million naira to medical doctors, not just medical doctors, those undergoing residency in the River State Civil Service, to boost healthcare in the states and also enhance the capacity of healthcare personnel. That we have not seen a back and forth on that, because that was a good investment. We have doctors complaining of improper pay, and that money was invested there. But what exactly was the aim of giving the money to the NBA, where it could have been invested, in other sectors of the economy? These are all the samples that have been explored by our callers this morning. But the phone lines are open. If you have a different view on that, call in. Let's hear on that. We have Rabi Salisi. Thank you so much for joining us, Rabi, this morning.
Okay, thank you, Lilian Ogazi. Really appreciate what you have been doing.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, related to the topic of discussion of today, it's not only River State are giving support in such organization, in such NBA. Almost all states across the federation, they have been doing it. But it appears only the River State, because the government were dislodged or are removed unconstitutionally. So anything that comes arise, so it will continue open. It will be open. So in a situation like that, the money purposely given to our governors to work, to improve healthcare, provide potable water and all that, is sometimes not only the money are diverted in doing something else, rather than utilizing the money for the real purpose. So in this situation, if the money can be returned back to River State is better. And if the money still has already went to use for the programs, so we can try next time. Because purposely it only needs to happen only in River State. So many states are doing this. So many states across the federation. And that is why a lot of people, including me, we are not confident on the judiciary at all. So in such situation, because our governors are swear with the Holy Quran, or those who are Muslim, and those who are Christian are swear with Holy Bible. If the money comes to them, let it judiciously use the money to prevent any disembarrassment after they left office. This is what they are supposed to do, not to supporting something else. Why a lot of people are suffering due to rising cost of living, poor transportation, comatose of healthcare delivery and other things. So these are my take on.
Thank you very much, Rabi Salisu, there for your thought. He has said the same thing and has lined his thoughts with so many callers we've had this morning. Now let's take the WhatsApp messages we have for you this morning. We have the first message from Ayuba from Gombe. He says, "Good morning, Lilian. Government supporting professional bodies is wrong. It has been the culture in Nigeria. We're hosting governors doling funds to bankroll the activities of these bodies at the expense of the mass suffering. God bless Nigeria." Thank you very much, Ayuba from Gombe there. He has spoken about it is wrong and shouldn't be done. It's normally a culture like, because they are hosting it, dole out funds to support them at the end of the day. And then we also have the next message. He didn't put his name there, but he says, on the issue of donations to professional bodies, I think there is nothing wrong in giving to these bodies, but the amount here is much. Such amounts can build boreholes for the benefit of many communities, build classrooms in schools, or add medical and health equipment in health facilities. Misplaced priority is indeed our challenge. Yes, thank you very much for that thought. We also have, the next message from Olu Sona Olaleko Ebenezer. We'll take that message when it comes up on the screen. But everybody have aligned their thoughts with saying, some have said it's okay to give to professional bodies, to support their cause and support what it is they are doing and encourage them somewhat. But at the end of the day, that funds should be a certain reasonable amount that should just be given to them. But looking at the situation in the state and what is happening in the state, shouldn't that money be used to invest in activities like healthcare, education, classrooms, and other things that would benefit the people directly? What impact would that conference have on the lives of the people, or that professional bodies event have on the life of the people? Now let's take the next message from Olusona Oladeko Ebenezer from Ilorin in Kwara State. He says the Nigerian government supporting professional bodies like the Nigerian Bar Association with millions could have both positive and negative implications. Here are some points to consider. Funding could enhance the MBA's capacity to provide training, workshops, and resources for legal professionals, ultimately improving the quality of legal services. MBA plays a crucial role in promoting justice, rule of law, and human rights. Government support could amplify their impact. Funding could help the MBA strengthen its infrastructure, technology, and human resource, enabling them to better serve their members and the public. But government funding might compromise the MBA's independence and autonomy, potentially influencing their decision and actions. There's a risk that the funding or the funds might not be utilized efficiently or effectively, or might be diverted for unintended purposes. MBA might become overly reliant on government funding, which could impact their ability to operate independently. Thank you very much, Olalekon, for breaking that down. He gave details and various angles to it this morning, giving details on that. We're still sending your WhatsApp messages. We'll be here to take them. We have the last message this morning from Binton Akmak Bello. We said that money is more than enough to share to 250 million Nigerians. It would be much better. He's sending a message there from Port Harcourt as well. So yes, those are the messages we've had this morning that we have taken. We've come to the end of this segment, but in conclusion, this situation that's currently happening calls for a certain level of re-evaluation of funding practices from the government to professional bodies, which we know that these professional bodies could operate effectively with or without the government funding. But what impact does this funding have on that practice, on the economy in the long run? Of what benefit is it to the average Nigerian at the end of the day? Those are questions we need to ask our government and hold them accountable at all times. With that, we've come to the end of this segment. We'll be going on a quick break. When we get back, we'll be diving straight into our discussion segment. We'll be talking about Nigeria's inflation, and I'll be giving a detailed analysis on that. Do stay.